Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. So back in mid-March, I did a video breaking down the FDA's move to restrict GLP-1 medications, what triggered it, what it meant for compounded semaglutide and tirzepatide, and what patients should be paying attention to. Since then, that announcement has caused a lot of confusion and honestly, a lot of concern. And if you've looked into GLP-1 weight loss programs recently, there's a good chance that the company you checked out just got a warning from the FDA. Sounds pretty serious, doesn't it? But here's the problem. Most people are completely misunderstanding what those warning letters actually mean. So in this video, I want to break down what the FDA actually did, the companies that were involved, and most importantly, whether this should change your decision. And I'll also show you how to identify the 30 plus companies that actually received these warning letters. So let's get into it. So between February and March of 2026, the FDA issued warning letters to more than 30 telehealth companies that were marketing compounded GLP-1 medications. This was the largest regulatory crackdown the telehealth weight loss industry has seen since the boom started around 2023. One company that was publicly identified, Hims and Hers Health Incorporated. The FDA said their marketing claims, like saying their compounded drugs had the same active ingredient as brand name medications, were misleading. And that wasn't just one company. This was a pattern across the entire industry. This is where things get really important. An FDA warning letter sounds scary, but it's not what people think. It is a formal notice saying the FDA believes a company violated regulations and giving them a chance to fix it. But it is not a recall, a shutdown, a legal ruling, or proof that the product is unsafe. Let me say that again, because this gets confused a lot. These warning letters were about marketing and labeling, not the safety of the medications themselves. So the issue wasn't necessarily what they were selling, it was how they were describing it to you. Now, if you're interested in seeing what companies were sent warning letters, I will provide a link to the FDA warning letter database in the description area of this video. But I do want to give you guys a peek at what that search area looks like. Okay, so we're looking at a screenshot of the search area of the database, the warning letter database. And you can see here at the top of this snip, I put in GLP-1 right in the search box, and that's what I searched. And it gave me 44 entries. I did this earlier today. So as of today, this is what was in there. Then it pops up a list of all those companies that received these letters. Now, this one you're seeing is just the one that appeared at the top. I want to be clear, I am not singling them out. I am not suggesting they did anything wrong. I just wanted you to have a clear example of what you would see when you go to this site and plug something in the search box. So this company, if you were to click on their name, it is a hyperlink and it will take you directly to the communication they received from the FDA that lists their concerns in great detail. So while I was on this site poking around, of course I read some of those letters, and they are concerning. Not all of them, but there are many of them. They are selling products to consumers that have not been tested. They say right on them they are not fit for human consumption, but they are selling them to humans. And they are also saying things like they are for laboratory research purposes only. That is hugely concerning because you cannot possibly know the safety of those products, especially when they have those disclaimers right on the packaging. So I would just say that if you are taking a compounded GLP-1, to make sure it is safe, to look into it and make sure you are putting something in your body that is safe, because it is not worth losing a kidney over, it is not worth your liver shutting down, and it is not worth losing your life. So across these warning letters, the FDA kept flagging the same three issues. Companies implying they were the ones actually compounding the drugs when they were not. Suggesting the products were FDA approved. They are not. Blurring the lines between compounded meds and brand name drugs like Ozempic, Wegovy, Mounjaro, and Zepbound. And that last one is the big one, because compounded drugs are not the same thing as FDA approved medications. Even if they contain similar ingredients, they are not the same. So why did all of this happen in 2026? Two big reasons. Number one is the shortage has ended. The FDA officially declared that the shortage of semaglutide injections was resolved. And that matters because drug shortages were the main reason compounding at scale was allowed in the first place. Once the shortage ended, the legal gray area got a lot smaller. And secondly, there was a new product that changed the game. In late 2025, Novo Nordisk got approval for an oral version of Wegovy. You guys may have heard about that. That eliminated another major argument from compounding companies that they were filling a gap in the market. So the FDA basically said, all right, the shortage is over, alternatives exist. Now we're going to enforce the rules more aggressively. And that's exactly what we're seeing here. After a warning letter, companies usually have about 15 business days to respond. Most of them will update their websites, fix their claims, and continue operating. Escalation, like lawsuits or shutdowns, is possible, but in marketing cases like this, it's actually pretty rare. So let's bring this back to you. If you're considering a telehealth GLP-1 program, should a warning letter be a deal breaker? Not necessarily. Instead, ask better questions. Did the company fix the issues? Are they being transparent now? Was the issue marketing or actual safety? Because those are very different situations. Also, keep this in mind. When 30 or more companies get flagged at the same time, that's not just one bad actor, that is an industry-wide problem. This marks a turning point. The Wild West phase of compound GLP-1 telehealth that we saw in 2023 and 2024 is ending. That doesn't mean compounding is going away. It just means there will be tighter rules, clearer labeling, and less misleading marketing. At the end of the day, this is actually a good thing for consumers. There's more transparency, better information, and fewer gray areas. But it also means you need to be a little bit more informed before signing up for one of these meds. If you found today's video to be helpful, hit like and subscribe. Thanks so much for watching today, and I'll see you in the next video.